Welcome everybody to SalesCon 360. My name is Melissa Mitchell from here in Australia, where it is a little cloudy today, not as beautiful as sunny Jamaica. So I'm going to get straight stuck into it. I have my notes here. Let's get going. Thank you firstly to Erica and the team at SalesCon 360 for having me. I am so honored to be here and so honored to connect with you all. Sorry, I cannot be there in Jamaica, but is a very long way from here in Australia. So a little bit about myself. I am, as I said, Melissa Mitchell. I own a social media marketing agency here in Australia, and my superpower is organic marketing and omni-channel marketing. And also I'm a social media influencer as well, which is a byproduct of what I do. It sort of came as a byproduct of what I do with my marketing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well, because that does include the whole omni-channel presence. So what I want to go through today with you is all about achieving why you should have, first of all, an omni-channel presence, what it is, how you achieve it, and some easy ways to achieve it. How I do it for my clients, but also for my own accounts. The benefit of it, not only for time, but for monetization as well. There's many factors of why you should be doing it, not only, as I said, for time factors, but for monetization as well. So now, my own personal channels, not all of my channels are monetized, but a number of them are, and I'll share some of that with you too. So whether you are on this conference for your own personal benefit, for your own brand, so you are the business, or perhaps you're managing for your clients, these tips will help you for either of them. So I just wanted to mention as well that Erica and the team, they'll be setting up a group, or she has her team setting up a group, and she'll be adding me to that. So you can certainly ask some questions in there. You can tag myself in there. If you're not sure about that, just head to the admin staff who are setting that up, or the team at SalesCon 360, and they can direct you towards that. If I'm missing any of those notifications, Erica or the SalesCon team can get in touch with me, or my team, and we can liaise so that those questions are answered. Of course, I get thousands of notifications daily, but of course, if I'm missing too many of them, then maybe we can set up a Q&A. I think Erica called it a campfire or something, where maybe we can sit around and brainstorm and answer some questions for you at a time zone that suits everyone. That's probably going to be difficult to coordinate, but we'll do our best to work out a time that suits everyone. So I've also got some downloadables that I've sent to Erica and the team at SalesCon 360 that you can gain access to, that hopefully will help you as well. And of course, feel free to follow me, connect with me on my socials, which have all been sent through and are on those downloadables too. So yeah, you can follow, and I've got a lot of free resources and tips on my own social media as well. So as I said, in my agency, what we do is organic marketing. So if you're not, I'm sure you're aware of this term. If you wouldn't be at this event if you weren't aware of the term, but for anyone watching that's perhaps in a slightly different niche, organic marketing is marketing that is using free resources rather than paid. It's not that it's better than paid, it's just a different way of marketing. And in my experience, I really believe that if you are going to, sorry, I've just got a notification on my laptop there. If you are going to use paid marketing, it really is propped up by organic and vice versa. You've really got to have a really strong organic marketing strategy before any paid strategy will work. I quite often have my clients coming to me asking, should we, like, for example, I've got a new client that I've started with about 2 months ago. They're an organic cafe, quite a big one in Melbourne, where I live near. And they're doing really well, but they've actually got an organic greengrocer as well, which is thriving, and they've opened a cafe. Now, they sort of relied on the greengrocer to prop up their cafe, but the problem is that a lot of their, not a lot, but, you know, a predominant of their business with the greengrocer is done online, which means that people aren't coming into their cafe, which is a face-to-face business. They're not doing an online service, you know, apart from Uber Eats, which is like, you know, if you've got that in your country, you know, you can order the food online and it gets delivered, you know, to their door. But the problem is that, you know, that business, it's not in a predominantly, you know, they don't have a lot of foot traffic and they haven't done marketing before. So the problem is that we're building the organic, you know, social proof online and that sort of thing, and it's going really well. Then when we run, you know, they're talking about running a Facebook ad, which we've done a little bit of in the 8 weeks, but I said, look, you're really not going to have a phenomenal reach because you still don't have that organic know, like, and trust factor online. And that's what it's about. And unfortunately, in 2023, and as the years go on, it's really about that now. You are always selling online, and you can only do that if you have a really strong presence online. You can only do that if your customers and your audience trust you. And how do you get trust? By showing up. Social media now is so flooded. Whether we like it or not, it is flooded. And, you know, a few years back, people were saying, oh, you know, master one platform before you move on to the next. You cannot do that. You need to be a jack of all trades. That's a term we use here in Australia. I don't know if that's a term that's used all over the world, but, you know, meaning you need to master all of your platforms. I'm not saying you have to be phenomenal on every single platform, but you need to be across them. I've got no following on Twitter. I think I've got about 140 people follow me, but I don't care. I am on there for SEO purposes because I know that on Twitter that I can be searchable on Twitter through Google for my posts. That is why I'm on there. I couldn't care less about my following, but I know that being on there, that someone can Google affordable social media because it is a keyword and that is why I'm on there. So you've got to be smart with your social media and you have to be across multiple platforms because nowadays that's what it's about. It's about SEO. So why not be across every single platform? So your main platforms at the moment, right now this could change. If you're watching this in 2 years' time, it could change. But right now, in June 2023, right now, the main platforms that you should be worrying about are Facebook. Yes, Facebook. Facebook, yes, it's made a big comeback. And that is Facebook Reels. Whether it's your business page or your profile. And I know organic never got a good rap. It does now, and I'm going to share something with you about that in a moment. Then YouTube Shorts, and then TikTok. If you're in a country that hasn't had it banned, or I understand America's going through a little bit at the moment, but at the moment, unless that changes, it is TikTok. Of course, still be on Instagram, still be on those other platforms. But they're the 3 main ones that you should be focusing on right now. As I said, it's June 2023 when I'm recording this. Video content is king at the moment. It probably will continue for some time. And then I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to talk about how you can then take that one piece of content and get it across multiple different platforms. Now, as a byproduct of that, that is your main thing, is to get across multiple omni-channel platforms. But as a byproduct, you can also make money from that. So what I do is take one piece of content and I get it across multiple different platforms. Facebook Reels, or Facebook, let's say, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Did I say LinkedIn? I don't know if I did. LinkedIn as well. Now, each platform, yeah, they have their variances. Of course they do. On Twitter, we can only use 250 characters, and the video has to be less than, I think it's 45 seconds. TikTok is wanting longer content. That's fine. Okay, we're going to talk about that. How do we get around it? But as a byproduct, what then starts to happen is you can then start to monetize your channels. So not only are we having an omni-channel presence, we're going to start to use our content to be SEO friendly. So not only are we having an omni-channel presence, we're going to become searchable on Google. So we're saving time and we're also making money and we're also becoming searchable. It's a win-win. And that is why you should be across all pieces of content. Don't listen to people that say, oh, master one platform before you work on. No, do not listen to that. You need to be across everything. And I'm sorry to tell you, because I know that's like a bit of a mind, craziness and how am I going to do this? Get yourself a good scheduling tool. If you are only managing your own platforms, you can generally do that pretty cheaply through, free schedulers, or if you need to pay for multiple platforms, you can use Buffer or Later or Loomly quite cheaply or quite often for free. Or it does get a little bit messy, but you could use Meta for Reels, for scheduling Reels. The only problem is you've got to look for a good scheduler, because some schedulers don't let you schedule, like Meta. Sometimes it doesn't let. I've had problems with one account on Meta. It won't let me schedule Facebook Reels, but I can do it on a scheduling tool. But then I went and purchased Hootsuite, but it wouldn't let me schedule Facebook Reels. So then I had to go back to Meta. It's ridiculous. I'm now currently using Loomly because I can schedule to Google My Business and Facebook Reels, whereas on Hootsuite, I couldn't. It was ridiculous. So really look into where you can schedule. I can schedule shorts. I can schedule. So it's just got to be worthwhile for you. I use that because I'm an agency. Buffer could offer me that, but it wasn't great for agencies. If you're a single person, just, I don't mean single as in you don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend. I mean, you're not an agency and you're not managing multiple clients. You just want it for yourself. Then Buffer's a good option. I'm not affiliating with them in any way. I'm just saying, do your research. The one thing that I found, if it's about saving money, you're either going to pay with your money or your time. I found it a pain in the bum to then schedule this and this on Meta, schedule this and this on Buffer for free, and then schedule that and that through this. You're going to pay with your money or time. So make a decision there. I find it, okay, if I can pay this a month and get all of my scheduling through Buffer, Later, Hootsuite, Loomly, whoever it is, then just go and pay the money. It makes it a lot easier. One thing I found Hootsuite really good for is I could schedule to multiple boards with Pinterest. Because Pinterest is a really good search engine. So you want to look at everything holistically with omni-channel presence. And that is how I've grown and monetized. Now, the monetization part as a byproduct of what you're doing, it's a secondary factor. I make money in my business by, bringing clients into my business through my omni-channel presence. I'm everywhere. Everyone's like, my gosh, you're everywhere. Now, touch points in marketing. So touch points are how many people need to see you in marketing. So a touch point is where your consumer makes contact with you. Now, when you have what's called a bricks and mortar business, I don't know if you use that term in your country. In my country, I think they do. I think that's a worldwide term. In my country, we use that as a, if I go down the street and I walk into a shop, that's a bricks and mortar business. I can physically see that. I can build trust with that business a lot quicker than I can with someone online. Now, the touch points with that to build trust are a lot lower. I don't know what they are, maybe around 20 times that I need to interact with that business. I can go in with them. I can see a flyer. I can maybe, physically see them. Online, touch points can be around 60 times, 60. So I'm saying that because of my accent. People don't often understand my accent, and I do talk quite quickly. So 60, that is a lot. Now that can be through email marketing. That is part of the omni-channel strategy as well. Email marketing, doing I'll use my business as an example, doing a Google search. I usually use a keyword, affordable social media marketing, because no one knows my business name. Well, a cold lead will not know my business name, which is Abundant Life Studio. They don't know that. Who cares? No one knows my logo. No one knows my business name unless they know me. So 99% of people don't know me. They don't. So I'm not going to get hooked up on my business name. So with my keywords, I'm going to use affordable social media marketing with the location, because I want those clients who don't know me to find me. So I'm going to put that in there. So someone on Google can find me. That's a touch point. Someone who does know me, who maybe is a cold lead that's never done business, maybe they've, okay, you guys, you take my cheat sheet for my bios, which you're going to get a copy of. You're a cold lead. There you go. That's a touch point. Someone who comes across my Instagram account, which Instagram is my least favorite platform. So when you have a look at it, I've only got 8,000 followers on there, which, by the way, don't worry about your followers, because if your followers aren't engaging, they mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. That's why I don't worry. Big deal. I've got 140 people following me on Twitter. I don't care. If people aren't engaging with you, don't worry about it. But if 140 people can find me on Google that are looking for my services, they're hot leads. They're not hot leads on Twitter if they're just following me. But if 140 people have typed in that search term on Google, they're actually hot leads because they're looking for me. So that's what I'm saying. You're better off having people looking for you for those search terms. That's another touch point. Now, they need to see you 60 odd times before they start to want to do business with you. And that's what it's about. So if you spread yourself over more channels, people will say, oh my God, that girl's everywhere. When I start working with clients, and particularly in local areas, people will say to me, are you and quite often that's how I get clients in particular areas. They'll contact me and say, are you doing such and such? Are you the lady that's working on the, whatever campaign? Yeah. Oh, because she's everywhere. And I'm like, because that's what I do. So I'll give you an example. I worked with a local politician here when the election was on. We had an election. I got a fair bit of work out of that. So the election run for 3 months. Now, FYI, she's a beautiful lady, absolute beautiful lady. I would work with her again, hands down, work with her. I know this lady anyway. Politics, no, I would not work with politics again because it's such a full-on niche. It's a very reactive niche. But that was such good experience for me, but it was a very difficult niche to work in because it's very reactive, because you're reacting to what other politicians are doing. But anyway, that's just a side issue. But this lady, hands down, I will work with her again in a heartbeat, just not in the politics field, because I said to her, why would anyone want to be a politician? This is hard work for you. But anyway, I had a couple of people contact me and they're like, were you doing such and such as campaign? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, she was everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. Because if you do it correctly, you will pop up in people's faces. And if you're worried about, oh, I don't want to bore people, that's the job, is to be in people's faces. And if people mute you, unsubscribe, they're not your followers. They're not your audience. They were never going to buy for you. If they're unsubscribing for you, they weren't your audience. And that's what you want. You don't want people following you that were never going to buy, because they're not your audience. And that's why I'm saying, don't worry about your followers. If they're not engaging, they're not your followers. You want to collect community and like-minded people that are following you. And that is the whole idea about an omni-channel presence. Now, before I get into how you're going to create one piece of content and make it work for you across multiple different platforms, I'm going to talk to you about a byproduct of the omni-channel presence. I'm going to talk to you about monetization. Now, what tends to happen now, if you do this properly, you can then start to monetize your channels. Now, the last couple of months, my channels have gone nuts in terms of monetization. Now, I always wanted this to be a byproduct of it. Now, I've been an influencer for some time, which I was always wanting to set up in my business as a residual income, but it wasn't my main business. My main income is my agency. Obviously I've got multiple, we've got, clients that pay me monthly to manage their accounts, but I wanted the residual income on the side because I don't need a staff member for that. That is just me. Well, I do have staff that help me with my own brand because I'm too busy, but generally I don't need staff. It's my brand. I'm branding myself as well as my agency. So my Facebook profile is a brand. Your digital footprint is you. So not only are you branding your brand, but you are also a digital footprint. And you've got to remember that, because that is really, really important for people to remember. You are a brand as well. Even though I've got my business, and I've got a number of different businesses as well. I've got another business, which is Yellow Brick Pathways, which is still marketing. I just use that to market to the education sector. So I use that to trade to the education sector because I can't use Abundant Life Studios. It doesn't make sense when I'm advertising to the education sector. They don't want to see marketing tips. They want to see education. It is still just advertising. I just use it differently. And I've got another business called All Things Digital, which is digital resources for home business owners. It's a kind of a more your network marketer and that sort of thing. I've got an online store for them. It's a little bit, I don't want to say a level down, but they don't want to see that. I'm not talking to business owners at this level. I'm talking to business owners at this level. So, but behind that, they want to see who's behind the brand. So always remember you're behind the brand as well. And that is a really powerful tool. So just remember that's another component of your business in your omni-channel marketing plan as well. Okay. Now that is a really good lead generation tool. So remember you are always representing your brand. Now I've been able to monetize my brand. I didn't set out to do it. It just happened. So just remember when you're doing an omni-channel strategy to remember you are part of that strategy as well. And that will happen by default. Now, my Facebook profile in 4 months, I'm going to share with you. Now, not every country has monetization at the moment, but it will. I believe the UK doesn't, but I believe a lot of other countries like America, Australia, New Zealand, etc. has. I'm assuming Canada does. I don't know about Jamaica, but I'm assuming most countries does. I don't know why the UK doesn't. I know they're trialing it, so I guess they will roll out next. Now, I think in March, March, I got my first payment. So it's only June now. March, I received $160. I'm like, okay, great, little bonus, whatever, just for posting on. Now, this is why I'm saying Reels, and I'm going to teach you how to do an omni-channel strategy with Reels, and then hopefully you can monetize it as well. $160. I thought, okay, great. Sorry, my dog is just here and he is snoring. So hopefully you don't hear that. Okay, $160, great. Month 2, 240, great. Month 3, $1,030. Month 4, I think $2,500. Month 5, it hasn't even ended. So it's like what, the 10th of June or something today. So I'm like, my God, I'm going to be in for a ripper of a month, killer of a month. I'm so excited. Yesterday I checked, it was $3,040. And I thought, I'm so excited. I got up this morning, $3,500. So the compound effect is real and you can really make money with this. Now, as another byproduct, TikTok now has contacted me and I've monetized that. And I have 2 YouTube channels that are monetized as well. And shorts now, they're paying for that as well. So this is why I'm saying Reels, short form content. Now, each platform has different requirements and they're pushing for different things. In my country, I don't know about yours, but we can only currently place 60 seconds for Facebook Reels. Now, this is where I'm making the majority of my money. So you need to work out, because I do want to make that money, and obviously I want to have I want to make things easier for an omni-channel presence. I want to make sure that I make my time and my staff's time easy. So I want to make one piece of content that's going to go across multiple platforms. Yes, TikTok are pushing for longer pieces of content, but I can jump on and do a live. And then I can repurpose that to YouTube for a longer video, etc. But the bulk of my work is going to be probably 60 seconds, 45 to 60 seconds, and I'll tell you why. Twitter only takes 45 seconds, okay? So if I want to use content that is going across YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest pins, ID pins, sorry, and LinkedIn, because of Twitter, I want to make it 45 seconds, but generally I do make it 60 seconds because I'm not really too concerned about Twitter, to be honest. I'm not really too concerned because it'll trim the video. So let's say 60 seconds, but check your country, okay? Instagram is really going back to image-based now. This is June 2023. It'll probably change tomorrow because Instagram does that. But again, check your country, what is working for you, and pick a content length, okay? Now, for the longer content, just do a live. Do a live once a week, and there, boom, you've got your longer content. That satisfies that platform, okay? The other thing that I do to make it omni-channel friendly is I generally don't use music. Why? Because each platform has its own copyright that pulls your music or bans you or does whatever. And I cannot be bothered with that. The other thing is too, if it is copyrighted, you will not make money for it on that particular platform, particularly Facebook. I don't make money if it's copyrighted, and I want to make money. So I do not use music. Now, the times I do use music, I use royalty-free sites. Just Google royalty-free stock music. If I do get a copyright strike, because sometimes I do want to use music, and in those videos I don't talk, and the reason why I don't talk, I just do a 10-second video where I'm going, or something like this, and I put text to it. And the reason why I do that is sometimes you get banned from copyright music. 6 months later, it suddenly becomes copyright. I can redo that video and change the music. Simple. And then I've still got the content. The problem is if you're talking, which happened to me on TikTok, I think I had 700,000 or 800,000 views on my video because I had music in the background. They mute the whole thing, and now you can't hear me talking. So I can't use that video. So if you're talking, if you don't talk and you're just pointing, you can then just download the video without the watermark. So just Google SnapSave, TikTok, SnapSave, Instagram, or download a watermark for free. Do it on your desktop. It's easier. Download the video without the watermark, and you can reuse it with different music, stock, royalty-free, or whatever. Or you'll notice 90% of my videos don't have music. I'm just talking because I can't be bothered changing it. Or if you want to put it on YouTube Shorts, if you've got time, just use in-app music. So if you want to put music, just talk, or just do 10 seconds without any music and then upload it natively into the app if you've got time. I don't have time for that. My staff don't have time for that because we're all busy with our clients or my stuff. That's another way around it. And that is how I get across an omni-channel presence for myself. But for my clients, to be honest, we don't do that. We just use, we do upload royalty-free music that can go across each platform, or we upload it natively within the app itself because it's quicker when you're uploading to multi-channels. Because if you're scheduling it as well, you actually need the music on there already. It's too hard to do it manually. So we do generally use royalty-free, and that will make it a lot quicker for you. So that is my top tips, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you got value from this. What I want you to do is make sure you do jump into that group. I'm going to send you some resources that you are going to get from SalesCon 360. Please do ask in the group. We'll try and organize that campfire session where I can jump on, answer any questions from you. Of course, on my cheat sheets, you're going to get my social media accounts. I'd love you to follow those as well. Or perhaps this video, I'm not sure where SalesCon will also post this video as well, but I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere. Make sure you do follow me. My name is Melissa Mitchell. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. You may also find me under Abundant Life Studio or Social Media Made Easy. I've also got all things digital and some Facebook accounts under Abundant Life Studio. So make sure you go follow me on there as well. And I'd love to connect with you further, but do have an omni-channel presence. Do make it easier. If you are use a scheduling tool, make sure your music is uploaded beforehand with royalty-free music. Go on the internet and you can find a ton of websites that offer you royalty-free music. No, it's not as good. Don't worry about trending songs because usually it's copyrighted anyway. It's not going to make a difference. You're going to get banned anyway. So don't worry about trending songs. You can also use sounds or just talk. Just talk. Put your flavor into it. That's what social media wants to see. They want to see you. They don't care about trending. They do and they don't, but they only care about trending songs for a small select amount of people. What they want to see is you, and the aim of social media is to keep your audience on the platform because they make more money off advertising. If you can keep people on the platform for longer, so be it. That's what they want. That's all that they want. So remember, you are a brand as well. So show your flavor and everything will work out, I promise. I look forward to connecting with you further. And I thank you so much for joining SalesCon 360. And we'll see you next year. Hopefully they'll have me back, but If not, I'm going to invite myself along anyway. So see you then. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining.